stand very close to the White House, where so far the support has been pretty solid to help us in our quest to bring the hostages home and to exact justice on Hamas, which is not a resistance group, it is a terrorist group. What they resist is the urge of a human being to act in human fashion, even in war. That is their only resistance. So why are we here? We are here between two big symbols. One is the national menorah that's right across from us, where hundreds of millions of people, literally, according to our statistics, watch the lighting of a Chanukah, of a national menorah right in front of our White House, in the presence of the second gentleman and other government officials, with the United States Marine Band playing the Chanukah tunes, America's expression kicking off this festival of Chanukah, of light in the darkness. And the second symbol, we are in front of the headquarters of the American Red Cross, an organization that is supposed to be part of an international union of those who put humanitarian concerns above all else. But yet somehow, obviously I'm Jewish, so I feel the pain more when my brothers and sisters, whether they live their lives like me or not, we are the same. We are the same. We are joined in our souls. Kol Yisrael arevim zeh bazeh. All of Israel, all of the Jewish people are responsible for one another. We're very different. We're very argumentative. Anyone who watched Israel 6 months ago saw that clearly. But there's one thing that Hamas and all of our enemies do not know. And that is that when we come together, we're the strongest nation the world has ever seen. And that's what's happening in these days. But yet the American Red Cross does not see us as equals. I'm not asking them to treat our hostages better than others, but don't treat us less than other human beings. This Red Cross made a huge mistake during the Holocaust, and they're making the same mistake again. And I'm here to call them out and to beg them to do much more. History will hold the Red Cross accountable like it has held Hamas accountable, and it will hold everybody who is quiet accountable. If you have a voice, then speak your conscience. Don't let this happen again. The moral voices of the world fight for other peoples, and we Jews also fight for other peoples. And Israel has come to humanitarian assistance, even of its enemies, of its sworn enemies. What kind of chaotic hypocrisy and craziness is this? And yet we have to celebrate Chanukah, because over 2,000 years ago they tried to do the same thing. First to our religion, then to our dignity, and then to our very being, our actual physical existence. And a small army rose up and with faith in God was able to overcome that great challenge which seemed to threaten us. I was a young boy when Iranians stormed the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and took Americans hostage. Some of them were actually Jewish also. And I remember as an American every day getting up in school and saying the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag and to the United States of America, and feeling the pain that Americans I'd never met were being treated so poorly and terribly, with America all but helpless to save them. But we have now, today, something different. We have lessons of history, even if they are being ignored, they are timeless. The United States government has done a lot, but its allies in the region can do more to make sure that no lives are expended for a cause that is simply terrorism and genocide. We don't have to mince words when it comes to saving lives. The Lubavitcher Rebbe, my mentor, one who cared about Israel as much as anyone in this past generation, taught us very clearly, and specifically when it came to Israel, that when times are dark and the situation seems bleak, that is the time to, of course, reinforce the defense forces that we have, but to reinforce each one of ourselves to the point where we find it within us to reinforce others, to create light, to promote strength, to come together and be the Am Yisrael, which represents that phrase of our prophets of Netzach Yisrael Lo Yishaker. The promise of the eternity of the Jewish people is threatened, but it will never, God forbid, be dissolved. So here, I want to be thankful of our administration, the American administration that has been so helpful. I think they all deserve a round of applause. I know that some will say that have not done everything everyone wants, but they've done a lot of what everyone wants and much more than other people want. And there's criticism coming in for what the American government has done, and we have to reinforce that they should be able to withstand that criticism. To this building behind me, I say, don't be shameful. You're a noble cause. We've all given blood for you. We've all given donations to you. We've all gotten our friends to support you, whether it was the Red Cross or whether it was the Magen David Adom, or even those who are not Jewish here who support the Red Crescent. It's all supposed to be to save lives. Do your job. It's difficult, and some people are pressuring you. But what kind of decent organization are you if you're going to succumb to that pressure? If you are weak, then a pillar of humanity falls. Don't let that happen. And to all of those assembled here who are Israeli, who are Jewish, I point to the menorah. And I tell you that we don't have it as bad as the Maccabees did. And they were able to overcome the strongest force of evil at that time. And were able to clean out and reconsecrate the Holy Temple 2,200 years ago in Jerusalem. May the time come that the world will realize how wrong this is, what is being done to us and our brothers and sisters. Not only in Gaza, not only in Israel, but around the world, where university presidents cannot bring themselves to say that genocide of Jews is hate speech. Calling for it is hate speech. What kind of nonsense is that? The home of the free and the land of the free, the home of the brave. The First Amendment is very strong, but hate speech that leads to violence is not free, and a great price must be paid by all who engage in it. But the menorah tells us that if we'll be a force of light, if we'll be a force of good, and yes, if we will do more mitzvot, and we will come closer to the one who created us all, he will, hopefully soon, send a blessing to bring all of our forces home, safe and sound, together with the hostages, and may we never know war again. Am Yisrael Chai!
Am Yisrael Chai!